Great to have you with us on this Wednesday night. Game 2 in one of our semi-finals. We already know one of our grand final combatants. We may find out the other tonight. Southside and Townsville, our match for broadcast. The W show before all of that. Joel Peterson with you alongside Laurie Chiswick, a WNBL championship winner as a coach, and Australian women's 3x3 head coach Damon Lowry as well. There's no turning back tonight, Damon. It is do or die for the Southside Flyers.
This is it. Your season is on the line. You got 40 minutes to resurrect, get some redemption, keep this series alive. I almost was going to bring my broom out, Joe, but I'm like, I didn't want to disrespect the Flyers.
I tell you what, doesn't matter whether it's game 1, 2, or 3, whether you're playing for your life, whether you're playing to get it done over the line, it's going to be an exciting game tonight. Indeed
it is. Last night, of course, game 2 in the other semi-final series, and Perth took the shortest way home. They are through to the grand final. There you see your stats on screen. So another big performance from Anneli Maley. Han Shu was terrific as well. And the Lynx, Laurie, are into the grand final.
Really big wing for the Lynx. They can go home and put their feet up, and they watch this game and see who they will be playing later on next week. So really good win by them to get it done in 2.
Yep, and that is a big result for the Perth Lynx. They would absolutely love that, of course. Let's set up our game tonight, though. We're lucky enough to head inside the Townsville camp and grab one of their stars. She was the star in game 1 in Abby Ellis. Abby, thanks very much for your time so close to tip-off. The response after that game 1, you came out absolutely firing as a team. What's the sort of the come-down been like in the days after?
Yeah, I mean, we enjoyed it. Obviously, it was a great run by us at the start of the game, and obviously want to repeat that today. But, you know, obviously it's a different game, different scout for both teams, and, yeah, we're ready to jump on court and try and get this win.
Abby, congratulations on your 50th game today. And the other thing is, let me just list a few things. Player of the Year last year, or Breakout Player of the Year, Asia Cup medal. You've played more minutes this year, your stat line. Is it safe to say that you have really had a good 12 months and that you are on the fly?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy 12 months. I didn't imagine this happening when I came back from college. Super grateful, obviously, for all the opportunities I've had, and I think that goes a lot to Shannon and Townsville. They took a chance on me and definitely played with such a great bunch of girls, and, yeah, it's been crazy.
Abby, I got 2 questions for you. One, do you remember that time we was working out in the back of Eltham High School when you came back from school? And 2, where do you get all this flair from? I like the way you get down.
One, yeah, I remember those days. Those were developmental days. I was still working on my left-hand layups back then. And 2, I mean, I don't know, just practicing. I think I learned a bit from Mila this season for sure. She has some tricks in her bag. I've definitely taken some from her. But nah, it's been fun.
Abby, we want to know, all of us here on the desk, I'm sure everybody out there, what you eat before a game and what is your routine, because you are always so full of energy and it's so fun to see.
I always have my pre-game coffee, but that's like a few hours before the game, and it's some eggs, avo, and toast every time. It's ritual, but yeah, nothing too crazy. A few lollies here and there, that's for sure.
You got to have that energy. Yeah, have you got another half-court 3 in us for us tonight, Abby?
Pardon, what was that?
Have you got another half-court 3 tonight? Just maybe step it back a little bit.
Probably not. I know Shannon was probably scratching his head as to why I took that. I'm still thinking about that too. But, yeah, I mean, probably not. I hope not. But, no, crazy.
We loved it. We loved it. We hope you've got something. All the very best of luck for tonight. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Great to have Abby Ellis with us. Of course, the physicality was a real talking point out of that first game among both coaches in the press conference as well. Let's hear what they had to say.
Pretty physical, actually. I think they pretty much manhandled us, and you know, and they get away with that up here, but we didn't respond. But we just got to regroup and go home and hopefully get some calls go our way and yeah, get a win down there.
Physical. The refs are fine. Honestly, the refs are fine. Like it was great to see they actually called some fouls on the Flyers late in the game in the second half, because you know it's probably the thing. Like she talks about that, or she says that word a million times, I think, after every game, and you know, we try and focus on just playing basketball and whatnot, but it certainly feels like when we play them, anytime they're in a position where the score isn't in their favour, the physicality goes through the roof. And you saw that today. A lot of plays where people are being dragged to the ground. You know, their guards they're playing that zone and they're able to come up and really hand check, and our guards can't even come off a ball screen because there's so much contact and physical play. So, you know, it was great to see the refs call some fouls on some of that as the game went and sort of deeper into the second half. But I have no doubt they'll probably be 10 times worse in the next game.
Two sides to every story, isn't there? There's a little bit of positioning, a bit of jostling going on there. Damon, what did you make of the exchange between the two coaches?
You know, this is a sticky subject for me, JP. I don't like Christy Harrell going into the press conference asking for stuff. Don't be lobbying for the referees. Can we please get some calls, Mr. and Mrs. Referee? Ask your team to play harder. Ask your team to be more disciplined. How about that? Anyway, but I think coaches think, Lori, that they can just go into a press conference and referees actually give a damn what they think.
Well, it's interesting, Damon. I agree. I don't even think refs should be mentioned in the press conferences, to be honest. Just, you know, if you want to have a talk to them afterwards. But it's interesting how all season coaches have brought up the physicality. One, they talk about it, you know, being too physical, and then they go, but we like the physicality. We like that to let it go. So it's, you know, I think the referees are in a really hard position, but they can only call what they can see out there.
It is, and, you know, as Shannon Seabourne said, well, he thought they were fine. Christy Harrow took the other side of the coin. As we said, two sides to every story. But what we can expect is a physical game tonight. I think Christy Harrow will have her side absolutely charged up for this one, no doubt about that. A big part of that Townsville physicality is the work of their two bigs inside, Laurie. You know, Alicia Froling, Alex Fowler, both spectacular, but Alicia Froling is such a tone setter for this team, and it feels like we don't talk about her enough sometimes. She was magnificent in game one. She brings this to the table every single time.
She was so impressive, and as we said on the call, when a three-point shot goes in from Alicia Froling from the corner, you know it's going to be a good day for her. But as we just saw, she runs the floor really well. She does all the hard work. She gets in there for rebounds. She presented. She's always guarding people that are bigger, stronger than she is. And she just goes about her business every single game. You know exactly what you're going to get from her.
And she fits the way that they play absolutely perfectly. Shannon Seabourne's spoken about that. And Alex Fowler as well, Damon, had a really good shooting night, shot the three ball well. That really opens up this Townsville offense.
Alex has been shooting the three ball well all season, and she's another one. She's a great complement with Alicia Froling. They both can play the 5 spot on defense. They both can run the floor. They both can, you know, put the ball on the floor and get on the rim and score. So they just play very good team-orientated basketball. I reckon it's a good complement with all the sharp shooting they have on the team.
Two of those key bigs for Townsville, of course. They are going to be such a big part of it tonight. For the Fire, Izzy Bourne's going to have her hands full stopping both of them. And we will speak to Izzy very shortly on the other side of the break. To get us there, though, let's find out a little bit more about Townsville's road to the finals, thanks to our good friends at Ford.
Really looking for this year for development. I've known Shannon, I've seen like players under him and how they've grown their game and expanded their game. So yeah, that was definitely one of the main reasons that I came up here, and then also to win a championship. They got very close last year, and yeah, that's definitely one of my goals.
The Townsville of last year, and that's this one. Giving them such a spark.
Chemistry is, you know, really underrated in basketball. I think if you've got already an established core who know how to play with each other, know each other off the court as well as on the court.
Firewall. Soa back the other way. Lays it home. Bonus to come.
The thing that matters the most for our group is just continuing to kind of play together and play at pace.
Courtney Woods steps all the way.
I feel like when we get bogged down or when we kind of like lose our way a little bit, that's when we kind of stop playing defense, we stop rebounding. But I feel like when our offense is churning, we're able to get out, get good possessions, get good looks. That's when we kind of can play a good 40-minute game.
Soa and Woods, they work it beautifully.
I'm always really proud to be like a really great leader that can really help culture in a team and really bring people under my wing and make sure people, you know, are feeling good about themselves, and I like filling up other people's cups.
Rocci receives from George.
We all love the team sport. This isn't an individual sport, but obviously there are stats, and we do look at our own stats. And I do like to be really consistent. Honestly, like if I can get a double-double of 10 assists and 10 rebounds a game, I'll be stoked. Like that's a great season. I'm getting my teammates open. Getting some boards, love a good rebound.
Clock ticking away in this first half. Beautiful feed.
For me right now, statistically, yeah, I think, you know, to help this team, yeah, there's, you know, I'm wanting positive impact, and so I'm really stoked that I can give positive impact.
Wide open 3 ball.
You know, some games, if I don't have high scoring games, I like to impact in other areas of the stat sheet, or not the stat sheet at all, just like to impact winning in other ways, which I think sometimes that's lost on some of the younger generation. For me, because I'm a dinosaur, I like to, you know, make sure that I'm just helping winning, whatever that looks like, whether that means me scoring, me assisting, me rebounding, me leading, me just yelling at, you know, positive influence on people, bringing people under my wings, being a massive mother hen, whatever is needed in that space to help a winning, positive culture and for people to have a great experience playing this beautiful game.
She's always good fun, Kayla George. That's the Southside Melbourne Flyers road to the finals. Thanks to Ford, Joel Peterson, Laurie Chiswick and Damon Lowry with you here for the W show ahead of the Flyers and the Fire. Game 2 of their semi-final series. We've gone inside the Fire camp. Now let's check in with the Southside Melbourne Flyers. Izzy Bourne's been good enough to spend a little bit of time with us. And Izzy, as we welcome you in, we've got to ask first, what's happened to your nose?
Just had a little knock at training yesterday, kind of bad timing, bad luck, but I'm all good.
You've played for a number of teams, so you started in Canberra, then you went to the University of Nebraska, you went to Adelaide for a couple of years, and now you find yourself with the Flyers. You lead them in scoring, first time in the finals. How are you really enjoying this season with this new team?
Yeah, I love every single team that I've played for, and each experience is special on its own. So getting to play with Southside and in the finals for my first time was really exciting, and I'm really grateful for the whole experience.
Izzy, you probably can't go into detail about what was actually said post-game, but I would love to know the mood in the locker room after that Game 1 loss.
I think we were pretty much straight into bounce-back mode. We didn't want to dwell too much on what had just happened. I think it was a lot of self-inflicted stuff, and we didn't want to focus on that considering how quick the turnaround is. So just focusing on what's next in front of us and this game and what we can do better today.
Izzy, your coach, Christy, talked a little bit about the physicality and being able to work against it. Was training for those couple of sessions pretty physical, pretty bully ball, as Christy likes to call it, or Kayla?
Yeah, we definitely prepared better and, making some changes to counteract their physicality today. So that was definitely brought up in training, and especially in film. We did a lot of film to really look at how they defended us and what we can do better as a team.
The second half, some of the adjustments worked, Izzy, particularly going to that zone. Without giving too much away, do you think we'll see a little bit more of that tonight?
Yeah, I think, like I said, we'll make some adjustments today to defend them a little bit better, but I think especially there'll be a focus in transition. There was just way too many, especially in that first quarter, transition points, so just working on cleaning up that area a bit.
Izzy, we've loved what we've seen from you all season long. Very best of luck tonight, and hopefully, for your sake, you get to a Game 3.
Thank you so much.
Izzy Bourne from the Southside Melbourne Flyers joining us. Great to have her with us. And she has put together a really, really good season across the course of this campaign. And if they are to progress tonight, Laurie, she'll have to be a big part of it.
Well, she will, and she'll have to keep shooting the ball the way she's doing it, the way she's defending. She's got high IQ, Izzy Bourne, and so she will really need to lead this team tonight.
Kayla George has had a season of milestones. She's had a week of milestones. She went to second all-time in WNBL games played. She notches up another milestone tonight. So if they don't advance, she will have finished this season as the equal most capped player in finals. Kelly Wilson has 34. Kayla George joins Kelly Wilson with 34 tonight. There you see, it is an absolute laundry list of accolades in terms of where this wonderful woman ranks all time in this competition. And Damon continues to get it done at a very high level, all WNBL second team this year.
She certainly does, and no matter how this particular series finishes up, she's going to eventually get that record because next season she's got plenty of years left in those legs. Her attitude is the right kind of attitude to have. She likes her role within the team. So if it's not this season, it'll be the next.
I think it's another 82 games she needs to catch Kelly Wilson, so
In
it
that
might be
case,
a little while.
All right, let me just got a few to go then.
The way she's playing, she could very well have a few to go. Matty Rocci, always a key to this Southside team, Laurie. Part of that big three, of course, with Bourne and George, had her worst statistical game of the season in game one. You look at what she did. So this is game one on the right there. And then the last time they played, round 15, she hits the big go-ahead bucket toward the end of that game to give them the lead with 30 seconds to go. Has a 15 and 10 double-double. We know what she is capable of. She will be absolutely primed for a bounce-back game tonight.
Oh, she certainly will, without question. Matty Rocci is really proud. She's, you know, won't let that happen 2 games in a row where she perhaps is, you know, not at her best. And she will have watched tape. She will have analyzed it. She will look to where she can improve. Yes, she can be an assist. She can be a facilitator, but she can also be a scorer herself, and they need her doing that. They need her coming off on balls, navigating the defense, seeing what they're giving them, and I have no doubt that she will play. We will see a much different Matty Rocci in today's game.
So we saw her highlights from the last time they met there, Damon. I mean, if you're Matty Rocci, how do you instill that confidence back in yourself? Do you go and watch your own highlights? Like, how would you tackle this?
You definitely go back and watch the game and see where you can take advantage of some situations. And Matty Rocci got to understand that she is no longer that youngster in the league that can sneak up on people. She is now so established that she is going to get every team's best shot. And they're going to try to rattle her. They're going to try to find chinks in her armor to really try to get her off of her game. She's got to start having ways to deal with that, because if it's not Townsville Fire, we've seen Bendigo try to go after her in the past. So this is going to be her life, because you're that good. That's what's supposed to happen. They're going to come after you, so she just have to have strategies on how to deal with it.
Yeah, she doesn't too often have 2 bad games in a row, Matty Rocci. No doubt she'll be primed for a big one tonight. So that's one side of things for Southside. But, Laurie, you want to talk us through their defence and how that's a real key to the game and what they can't afford to do tonight?
Well, there were times in the game where they overhelped, and I think we mentioned it during the call, and they just can't afford to do that, because it doesn't mean the defense, they don't have to think about things. So if you can see here on this drive, Abby Ellis goes off this screen. Now, Frawling is wide open there because there's just a little bit of overhelping. Now, they may have said in their scout, leave her open, but she's going to nail those ones if you do in tonight's game. And in the next one as well, we can see this. Rocci overhelps. There was no need. Kayla George had her on the baseline, and a wide open shot for Alex Fowler in the corner there, and that's the overhelping. Now here, Boya did a good job of not overhelping and hedging it and making Courtney go, well, I got to get it back out now. Sowa takes advantage of it and still scores, but still, that is very important not to overhelp. Trust that your teammates can get the job done. Maybe hedge, maybe get back to your player, but don't overhelp.
That's going to be a very important part of tonight's game. Well broken down, Laurie. Southside and Townsville still to come. Game 2 in this semi-final series, of course. Great to have the support of Bunnings throughout this season. You can get some courtside access thanks to them.
10-year-old Kayla would be so hyped and probably ask where the snags are in Bread with Sauce. It's ultimately like such a cool experience to be on the court, to get my free gear. Just giving these kids something to look up to and to aspire to is really important. The WNBL has seen a huge change this season with our new ownership group, and there's definitely more eyes on the league, more exposure, more social media presence, easier access to our games. You know, overseas in America it's blowing up, and making sure that we can have our next Caitlin Clark effect. And I think it's really important for brands like Bunnings to be on board with something like this, because we were all once grassroots basketball players, all young gals hoping and dreaming. You know, we've got to find our next Opal. You know, we've got to find our next superstar of the WNBL. So to have Bunnings support grassroots basketball, it's imperative for us to be able to grow the game and to find the next superstars of the game. Join me and the team with Bunnings courtside access to enjoy an amazing game time experience, and hopefully one day you'll be on court with us.
Of course, game 2 in our other semi-final series last night in Bendigo. And the Perth Lynx took the shortest way through to the grand final series, sweeping that 2-0 against the Bendigo Spirit. So they are set in stone in our WNBL grand final for 2026. Townsville Fly can win through to play against them tonight, or Southside can take it to a game 3. Damon and Laurie, let's talk a little bit more about that game last night, though. It didn't follow the script we'd seen from the last 2 Perth and Bendigo matchups. Bendigo made a real fist of that. They led late. Ultimately, though, Maylee and Shu were just too much to handle for that Spirit team, Laurie.
Oh, my goodness, they were phenomenal in what they brought. And you know, stats say it all when you look at the effect that Han Shu had in there. They had 46 points in the paint compared to Bendigo's 26. And the other thing to talk about the closeness of the game, 29 lead changes. So it was back and forth. Perth would get a lead, then Bendigo would come right back at them, take the lead themselves. So it was a really great effort by Bendigo to challenge Perth coming off of that game 1 loss. But ultimately, it was a massive win on Bendigo's home court for Perth.
Yep, and now they've got some sore bodies. They get to go home and rest up for a little while. This Perth team for Bendigo, the defending champions, it is season over. There's some uncertainty about what comes next for this team as well. Kelsey Griffin not getting any younger. They've got Izzy Bourne, who we know is destined for big things. She could be the face of the league, but it seems like maybe her pastures might be potentially elsewhere as well. But Kelsey Griffin was the big question mark after the game, and she was asked about what the future would hold.
Aaron and I have to probably have a chat about what our next steps are going to be, but I think because of the people that I get to go and play basketball with daily, it's going to be a really difficult decision. So I don't know if this was my last game playing. If it was, I feel really, really fortunate. And you know, I'm someone that probably struggled with gratitude in my career because I felt like I often had to push for progression and betterment because that was my job. People did it before me, and I didn't really know how to balance the two. But if I have a word for this season, it's just immense gratitude, just from the recognition I've gotten from the league, from other, you know, players on other teams, but mostly from my teammates. It's just been just one to remember for me, for sure.
So, such a champion of our competition. I'm going to get Damon's thoughts from a GM perspective, and if what he was doing, if he was building this Bendigo roster next, Laurie. But KG, do you think we see her back?
Ooh, those were pretty strong words that she said, if you read into them at all. But you know, you never know. She will step away. She'll have a chat to her family. She'll see how her body's feeling ultimately. And I think realistically, if she says I'm ready to go again, then obviously you would take her.
Yeah, she's still such a weapon. She did say as well, she's retired about 4 times in her head. She even actually did retire and take up a full-time teaching job at one stage after the COVID season, and found that wasn't for her. So we hope that she goes again, Kelsey Griffin, but if it is the last we've seen of her in the WNBL, what a career it's been. In terms of what's next for Bendigo, Damon, so obviously they've got a few roster moves to make, whether they bring back Meg McConnell, whether they can bring back Meg McConnell, how this all looks next season. What would your #1 priority be if you were building this Bendigo roster in the off-season?
I'm going to get some size in another import because as soon as Mariana Tolo went out with child, they all of a sudden became very small. And they need to, and Kelsey Griffin had to do all the heavy lifting on the interior. Kelsey Reeves, she's going to be fantastic, but she's young and inexperienced. Olivia Pollard, same. I'm going to go open up the checkbook and get 2 imports. Now, whether it's Megan McConnell coming back, if it's not Megan, then it's going to be a guard, a big-time guard like they have in Veronica Burton, that type. And I'm definitely going to get a scoring forward. So 2 imports for next season. And KG, she's obviously more than welcome to come back. I mean, but you can't make any, you know, rash decisions this early since it's real fresh for them right now. So let some time settle, see how KG's feeling. But either way, 2 imports next year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly where they go and what this looks like. And they just felt like they were some scoring punch short. They were a little bit short in those big positions. And as we'd spoken about, particularly Laura, they're probably a secondary ball handler short as well.
Well, exactly right, especially when Micah Simpson went down, then that really started to restrict what they could and couldn't do. And you can see from the 2 teams right now in the top 2, Townsville and Perth, they've got a plethora of guards that can handle the ball and bring it up and different looks. And that Bendigo just didn't have that. And so maybe that was their downfall. But, you know, you never know what happens with injuries along the way. But I agree with you. They need to come up with a real potent point guard.
We're going to dive more into our game for broadcast tonight, Townsville and Southside, very soon. But I do want to get a prediction from you both before we head to the wall and get some insight from both of these teams again. Who wins tonight and why, Damon?
Townsville wins by 12. Why? Because they're better. And they got this grand final loss last year still stinging. So I feel like they got way more motivation to get back there again and try to make amends.
Laurie?
I'm going to go Townsville, but only by 6 points. I think the Flyers are going to give it a red-hot crack, go at them, give them everything they've got in front of their home crowd, but will just fall short.
And it's going to have to be a much better start from them in this second game. A couple of their matchups throughout the course of the season were decided by 6 points. They were not separated by a lot. Across the course of the season, these two teams and this game 2 in a semi-final is going to be massive. Can Townsville win their way through to the grand final? Will Southside take it back to Townsville on Sunday? All of that is to be decided. A fascinating game 2 in the WNBL semi-finals. It is all coming up on the other side of this.
Pressure just absolutely rushed us.
Playoff basketball just carries that different intensity and physicality.
Pretty much manhandled us, and you know, and they get away with that up here.
Townsville with another look. Sower and Woods, they work it beautifully. Rocci goes the other way, lays it home. What a start this is for Townsville.
Whoever gets the tempo first will, you know, get that lead.
We can't bank on having a 17-0 start.
Townsville takes game 1 of the semi-finals in dominant, imperious fashion.
Yeah, we need to be better in that area.
Southside will come out with everything to lose now.
It is do or die for the Southside Flyers. No time like the present, trying to keep their season alive in Game 2 of this semi-final series as they host the Townsville Fire. Our players checking in thanks to Minor Hotels. The Flyers primed to respond. The Fire come to town looking to close out this series and set up a grand final date with the Perth Lynx, who lay in wait for both of these two teams. Great to have you with us on this Wednesday night. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry and Laurie Chiswick with you to take you through Game 2 of this semi-final series. So important for both of these teams. There is a lot on the line, obviously, for Southside. Laurie, they need a big response.
They need a massive response, and we want to see it right from the tip-off. I want to see them up and in defensively. I want to see that they've got that relentless mindset that can change a game around that they brought in Game 1.
And for Townsville, Damon, if they can channel anything like their start from last game, they'll be in a very good spot.
Do what you did last time, but expect a spirited fight from Southside Flyers. But you can't just wait for it to happen. They got to make it happen. And if they give the Flyers a sniff, things could, you don't want to go back to Townsville to play Game 3.
It was a 17-0 run that they started the last game with the Townsville Fire, and that, in the context of their season, is more than what they had at any other point so far this season. So this is just their best run in any single game this season. They actually had a 16-0 run in that game on Sunday as well. So it just shows the kind of dominance that they were able to put together. So right from the tip, as Laurie said, the Southside Melbourne Flyers will need a match their intensity tonight. Let's dive a little bit deeper into proceedings and what we will see tonight. Laurie and Damon are at the wall.
Thanks very much, Joel. And we have to say, Townsville did get off to a massive start, and that was no part in due to the fact they played great defense and the strategy that they had to double every time the ball went inside. And we can see on this first clip, as soon as the ball goes into Peters, Alicia Frawling straight away doubling. Nice and big, really hard to make a cross-court pass. Steal by Abby Ellis, off to the races they go. In this second clip, exactly the same thing, only now it's Alex Fowler. You can see the aggression that she comes across with. Again, only passes out to Peters, makes Tara Reid under a lot of pressure with that shot. Now, Southside, to their credit, went away and made a few adjustments, and these are the things they have to do. If you catch that ball inside, you have to make your move quickly. And we can see on this next clip, Kayla George setting herself up on Courtney Woods. She wants the ball inside there. Now there's a nice mismatch. She's calling for the ball, and she makes that move quickly before the double, or in fact, triple team comes. And in our final clip, the other way is to have lots of player movement off the ball. And we can see Andrews and Tara Reid cutting hard. Tara Reid gets fouled and goes to the line. Those are a couple of ways that you can beat the double team.
2 against 1 on the ball. That means somebody's open on the perimeter. It's 4 against 3. That's how the Flyers can make the Fire pay. Another way the Flyers can make the Fire pay is in transitions. We watch this clip right here. Sometimes it's hard to play the big lead. Right now, Haley Peters gets the ball. She's come down in transition. And if we pause it right here, we can see that right now, Kayla George, Mila Sow is on Kayla George. We let it roll. And Kayla George gets all the way to the paint. She's at the block right now. This is what I call a grotesque mismatch. She's going to score 100 times out of 100. Little things like that lets the Flyers get back into the game. The next clip, the Flyers in a 2-3 zone, and they're playing a real disciplined 2-3 zone. They're not over-helping. So right now, Abby Ellis comes off the ball screen from Alicia Frawley. A little bit sloppy with the ball as we let it roll. And Matty Rocci goes, I'll have that, thank you. She's going down in transition. This is an and one. Little things like that, they're creeping back into the game. And lastly, hold it, pause it. Woman down. It's 4 against 5. There's no way the Flyers should score a layup right now. What happens? Haley Peters, straight line drive, right past Courtney Woods. Great seal from Izzy Bourne to clear it out for her. And there's little plays like that. When you have a big lead, if you lose a little bit of focus, lose a little bit of poison direction, they can get back in the game and feel good about themselves.
And I'll be interested to see if Christy Harrower plays the zone, when and if she does, because I think it did slow down Townsville. It made them think a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see in today's game.
Indeed, we will. Great work, you two of the sharpest basketball minds going around. Speaking of, Christy Harrower, well, she certainly knows a little bit about the game. The Southside Melbourne Flyers coach, she caught up with her own Jess Robinson.
Christy, just how long was that Game 1 review?
Yeah, it did go for a while, maybe an hour and 15. So yeah, there was a lot to talk about, but yeah, it's do or die now, and you know, all I'm after is some fight now, girls, pretty much.
Just how important is it going to be to lean on experience? Kayla obviously stood up, but we're going to see more from Matty Rocci tonight.
Yeah, we just need to have the aggressive mindset, and if we have that, you know, it's all about our start, of course, because they pretty much smacked us in the face up in Game 1. So it's all about our start and us being aggressive and making sure that we can handle their pressure that they put on us offensively. And, you know, if we can do that, then we're a pretty good basketball team.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And Christy mentioned experience of Kayla George, Matty Rocci, but another player that has a lot of experience and brings it to this team is Haley Peters, and she is going to have to show that today. She's averaging 11 points per game, 6 rebounds, was slightly down on those numbers in Game 1, but she is a massive inside presence. She plays tough, she plays relentless, and she is going to have to up that even more in today's game to get them over the line.
Yeah, they'll need every bit of her physicality. Haley Peters, particularly at the defensive end. Speaking of, Alicia Froling always provides physicality. She caught up with Jess.
Alicia, you and your girls came out hot to start Game 1 and pretty much shell-shocked the Flyers. What are you expecting to see from them tonight?
Probably not that start, to be honest. You know, I think they're going to be a bit more prepared for us, so we're expecting a lot of physicality. Yeah, and definitely going to have to weather those first 5 minutes.
You were able to really maintain Matty Rocci's impact, but how important is getting a hold of Kayla George?
Oh, they've got some really great players. Kayla, Rocci, Bourne, Haley Peters. Like, they've got some players that can put up a lot of points. So it's a team effort trying to shut down all those individuals.
Good luck tonight, Alicia.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Courtney Woods, she's one I'm expecting a bounce-back game from. She didn't play bad, but she wasn't her usual impactful self. She had the 7 points and the 7 rebounds, but she shot the ball 3 of 11 from the field. That is uncharacteristic of Woods, so I'm expecting her to come out with a much better, efficient performance.
Yeah, she'll certainly be wanting to find her best. We know that she can stuff that stat sheet in a multitude of ways. Courtney Woods, so important to this Townsville team. Let's check in with the final member of our broadcast team and say a very good evening to Jess Robinson.
Well, hi guys, Christy Harrower and the Southside Flyers. They have repeatedly spoken about playing under finals-like pressure on several occasions this season. So they know what it takes
to keep their finals chances alive tonight. Kayla George, she's the one that regularly stands up, but she desperately needs Matty Rocci to come ride that wave with her. As you spoke about, Hayley Peters, another one that stands strong as the Flyers truly lean on experience tonight. The Fire, they know how to play finals basketball. They had the heartbreak last year, and they've got a core group that are experienced in playing together. So we'll see what happens tonight, but the Fire looking prepared to take it out in 2 games tonight, guys.
That's the big opportunity for them, Jess. Thank you. Looking forward to more from you throughout the course of the evening. Same starting 5 for Townsville. No surprise after they opened the game 17-0. A different starting 5 for Southside Melbourne, though, Laurie. Hayley Andrews steps into that lineup.
Well, how exciting for Hayley Andrews. And she's been playing really good minutes coming off the bench. And I don't mind Tara Reid coming off the bench. She did that when Nia Locke was in the starting 5, and she just gives them a different look. So if Andrews can have some sort of impact early and then they sub in Tara Reid, that could be a good look for them.
What are you looking for from the Southside Flyers early in this game, just to see whether they brought a little bit more spark into this one?
I'm really looking at the defensive end. Are they up and in? Are they making Townsville feel uncomfortable? Are they making life difficult for them and throwing everything at them? Not standing back and being reactive, but being very proactive.
Damon, what's going to catch your eye early?
Townsville need to come out and assert themselves early in this game to let the Flyers know that what happened to you the other day is going to happen to you again. It's all about attitude and application. I'm expecting them to come out shooting the ball like they normally do. They hit 11 threes last game. I think they might be able to make more than that.
Southside trying to keep their season alive at home. Townsville want to take the shortest road possible through to the grand final series where they'll face the Perth Lynx. It is Southside Melbourne and Townsville, game 2 of the semi-finals. The hosts start us off, and Hayley Andrews into the starting lineup, straight onto the score sheet.
How good is that? Her first start with them, and then she comes out and scores the first basket in game 2 of the semi-finals.
And she's up and in on Courtney Woods to start as well.
And did you see Hayley Andrews hold up that number 2? When they scored, they went straight back into a 2-3 zone to start the game, Lori. We thought we'd see it, but we didn't think we'd see it this early.
Well, you know, again, that's the coach's strategy. They will have watched tape. They will have watched the impact that zone had in game 1. And they're going to feel like maybe this start, this is what they need to do.
Abby Ellis couldn't miss in game 1. 20 points, hit a couple of massive threes. Courtney Woods called for the walk. 88-60 in that game 1. Townsville have won the past 4 matchups between the teams after Southside took the first game here in round 3. So the only game played here so far this season. They met at Parkville in their later matchup. Southside will come into this game tonight feeling good about what they did. All that back at the start of the season. Fowler forces the turnover. Soa's up and running. Fouled by Izzy Bourne.
So glad Soa kept going to the basket and didn't look to pass it off or start and pull it out, even though there was a taller Izzy Bourne guarding her, because she didn't have the defensive position. And Soa shoots the free throws at 95%, so get yourself to the line.
And she created the contact, too. She initiated it. She went straight in Izzy Bourne's body. Great job getting herself to the stripe.
Ooh. Misses the second, Mila Soa, just the 4th free throw she has missed all season, 56 of 60.
That's nuts. She did something similar to that playing NBL 1 not that long ago. What is going on?
Fowler and Soa ran into each other. Alex Fowler thought we were back at training, and she just wanted to stop the drill. Said, Alex, you've got to keep going here. Courtney Woods just burrows her way in underneath Kayla George.
Well, Courtney Woods, you wouldn't describe her as explosive, but she has such good balance with her body when she goes to the basket.
That's not being unkind. I don't think Courtney Woods would describe Courtney Woods as being explosive. Kayla George from outside. I noticed on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, she said she got some new gear, I think some new knee pads, and she'd upgraded from slow to medium.
Yeah, great. Medium speed for the finals.
Absolutely. Speaking of speed, Abby Ellis had it on display there, had it blocked. Terrific defense from Izzy Bourne. Kayla George back the other way. Tried to wrap it around to Bourne. It bounced its way there eventually. 2 minutes played. It's been a better start from Southside. They'd love to capitalise on the scoreboard. Post catch for Bourne here, working on Soa. Sees the double, worked her way through it. Couldn't make the look work. And should have been a reset of the shot clock there.
Yeah. Izzy Bourne had the mismatch on the block, but she waited too long and eventually got double teamed. She saw she had Mila Gardner.
So that was one of the keys to the game earlier that you two highlighted, was if you're going to get doubled, make that decision quickly.
Well, you do, because it didn't come straight away, but as soon as she looked to turn, there it was. So she needed to have caught it, made her move quickly. But here we see Matty Rocci going to the basket strongly and finishing. I just noticed such a difference in Southside's energy level at the start of this game.
Both guards have scored to start this game for Southside. A nice steal from Bourne on that possession as well. Courtney Woods from outside, can't hit. And that one will bounce out of play, uncontested. They led 17-0. It was 23-6 at quarter time. It was 39-6 to start the second quarter. That game was in Townsville's keeping so early. Rocci almost with a foot over and back there. Ellis up and in, playing some really tough defense. Peters a bit strong on the first attempt, has a go at the second and pushes it home.
Easy offensive rebound. Courtney Woods gave up a straight line drive, but then didn't box out afterwards. And we are going to see the Flyers, Lori, sit in this 2-3 zone for who knows how long. But so far, it's kind of forcing the Fire to some clunky offense.
How can Townsville navigate it as Froling gets a couple of looks and fouled on the second?
And as we know, Damon, if you play a good zone and get a good rebound, often out of a zone, you can run. And that's exactly, if Southside want to get some easy early baskets in transition, not get bogged down in the court.
Of course, we are right in the thick of our semi-final series. Grand final just around the corner. It's where legacies are made. You can have it all in the palm of your hand. Scan the QR code on screen now. Download the WNBL app. Live stats, scores, highlights, player stories, video content, and much more. Download the WNBL app, the best way to stay across everything throughout this postseason. A couple go for Alicia Froling, who was terrific on Sunday, 17 and 8 in a team-high 31 minutes. Their most experienced player, game number 123 here in the WNBL tonight. For Froling, nice pass from Rocci. Bourne couldn't stick it home. Peters with another offensive rebound. They've been active on the glass of Southside, 6-3 in that category early. Christy Harrower barks the instructions from the sideline, and Kayla George gets that little baseline midi to fall.
That is their advantage, Lord. Fire got 3 guards. Fire got 3 guards. The Flyers got 3 forwards. So it's a mismatch every time down the floor. It's just can they recognize it?
Tough move from Froling underneath to spin and finish that one. Alicia Froling with 4 points in the early going. It's been by committee for Southside thus far in the game. And a turnover there for the Flyers. That was part of their problem early on. Turned it over on the very first possession of the game on Sunday. Finished that game 15 turnovers, minus 10 on the rebounding count, just 6 of 11 from the free throw line. Now another giveaway on the Flyers offensive end with the screen from Froling and the Abby Ellis losing it out of play.
I like the fact that Matty Rocci worked really hard to get over top of that screen.
That's too easy for Kayla George. She'll hit those all day.
Man, if we had $1 for every time Kayla hit a short midi from the baseline, we'd be loaded. Quick timeout, a pay-wise timeout. Shannon Seabaum is not happy.
There is that little baseline midi from Kayla George. So she's got 4 points. Southside out by 3. Shannon Seabaum talking it over with his team. We can take a listen to Kayla George now. She spoke in the post-game press conference after Sunday's game about how she'd address her team.
I'll tell you what I said after the game. I said it's a series, and it's the beauty of finals basketball, that it is a series and that we get to go home. And, you know, the only thing that's not great about this loss tonight, besides the loss itself, is that we'll have to come back all the way up north here to win, you know, on Saturday. So we just have to make sure we get the job done Wednesday and make this a red-hot series.
That's exactly what they've done in the early going here. 10-7 And this is just the type of start Christy Harrower would have wanted, Laurie.
Absolutely. It's a great response from Southside. And you could just see it in their body language, the way they're approaching things. They're doing everything at speed, at pace, which they did not do in the first quarter of game one.
So early timeout from Shannon Seabourne. What was the message in that huddle, Jess?
Yeah, the message was wake up, stick to the plan. They came with a mission tonight, so don't let the Flyers' hot start throw you off. Courtney Woods calling for more energy from her teammates. So the Fire, just don't let them be rattled.
Well, that'll help give them a little bit more energy. That 3 ball from Courtney Woods ties us at 10 halfway through this opening term. Another 2 for George, 6 in the game.
Alex Fowler's got to jump to the ball. She's getting back picked too easy. That's the second time that Kayla's come off a nice back pick and got herself a nice mid-range shot.
Fowler gets to the elbow, doesn't like what she saw, so pulls it back out. Now puts it on the floor. Left hand take away from Rocci. Spills to Andrews. Rocci runs the break. Peters is here to help. And another fast break score for Southside.
They do look like a team on a mission right now, Damon.
They do, too, and this 2-3 zone is their new weapon.
This is a different Flyers team altogether. Lucy Olsen readying herself to make an impact on the sideline. Woods had it, lost it. Rolling on the roll. That's her bread and butter.
All right, JP. Actually, Laura, I think that's a 2-3 zone. Then on the first pass, they go into a man.
Yep.
Rocci denied by Fowler. Matty Rocci introduces herself to a few fans sitting courtside. What about that for an experience? And that'll go back with the Fire.
First to get the good steal. Good hands by Matty Rocci. Haley Peters doing a good job running the floor on the Amy replay. And Haley Peters injecting to the lineup, Laura. She is a defensive pain in the butt right now.
Over and back against the Fire. It's their 3rd turnover of the game so far. Of course, in their 25-year celebration jersey tonight, the Townsville Fire. Lucy Olsen called for the foul. It's got to be one of the best-looking uniforms in the competition. Glorious navy blue. 25 years of the Fire in the WNBL this season. Love to cap it off with the championship at the end of it. They've got some work to do in this game too, trying to win their way through in the shortest possible route as Chantel Horvat fouls Kayla George.
And that's exactly what we talked about on the wall when Kayla George caught that ball. Again, she caught it and made her move straight away. You could see her pound it into the ground, attack the defender, and got Horvat just out of position and fouled her.
Game 396 for Kayla George. 34th final, draws her equal all-time with Kelly Wilson. Nice work from Bourne to force the ball back. Peters off to George. Man, that's an interesting way to get a 3-point play.
Different team right now. This Southside Flyer team is playing some absolutely hard-nosed defense, and they're getting their best player, one of their best players, Kayla George, involved early, and she's producing. Courtney tees one up, no bueno.
Got to be a little bit more aware on the rebounding than that, the Flyers. They got away with it on that occasion.
Pull!
Southside pushing the pace on the other end. Rocci all the way through.
It's like it's a reversal right now from game one. Townsville's defense right now, there's lots of holes in it and mistakes in communication. And that's exactly what happened to Southside, as we see Lucy Olsen, just a nice little mid-range pull-up jump shot.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Full court pass. And Bourne's on the end of it to make it work.
What do you think about the psychology, Laurie, of the team that's 1-0? They're playing with basically house money right now. Worst case scenario, we go back home to close it out. And sometimes teams in that situation can come out a little bit lax.
Well, and I talked to Shannon Seabourne yesterday, and that was one of his sort of points that he said, they need to come out focused. They can't take this lightly. Well, and I don't think any of them take it lightly, but just might be relaxed a little bit too much.
Rocci in the lane, too strong on the floater, got it back. Another offensive rebound opportunity. That's 4 in the early going. Andrews now for three.
Well, what a good decision to start Haley Andrews. She has been phenomenal and is really rewarding her coach and teammates by starting.
Getting the start against her old team in a big spot, the Townsville junior. Chantel Horvath fights her way through contacts. Fouled by Hayley Peters.
It was always going to be a storm. Great job by Matty Rocci getting the offensive rebound and then having her vision, having her head up, spotting a wide open Haley Andrews. But you got to know when you're the fire that Townsville, the Southside Flyers was not going to just lay down. They were going to punch first in this game. Whether they can maintain it, we'll see. But this is an absolute start that Christy Hare was asking for.
It's a response. It's a response to how, from her press conference to watching tape to their training to coming out on the court. But we know how deadly Townsville are. Townsville aren't number one are number one for a reason. And yes, they need to steady the ship here right now. They need to take a deep breath, but they need to go back to playing the way they've played all year long.
Positive end for Townsville. Despite it not being the start they would have wanted, it's nothing like what we saw in game one, when by this stage the game was virtually over. Rebound for Froling, Joel Peterson, Laurie Chiswick, Damon Lowry, Jess Robinson with you. Game two of this semi-final series. Southside down 0-1 in the series, but up by 6 here in this opening term. Courtney Woods through the contact. Tried to methodically muscle her way through. Kayla George looks up for a fight this evening.
Great job by Chantel Horvath. She came off the bench with some great energy. Courtney tried to maneuver her way to the hoop and couldn't get that shot to go, but Chantel was there to keep it alive.
Chantel Horvath averaging 8.5 and 4 rebounds a game. Some really good defense as well. Only played the 16 games in the regular season, otherwise would have found herself right in the thick of the sixth woman debate with her teammate Lucy Olsen, who was the eventual winner. There's a loose pass there from George. Flyers work it out. Just over a minute to go in the quarter. George down low. Bourne blocked by Froling. Terrific defense.
It was great defense. I like the sets, Laurie. Good high-low. You'll still take that. Great D by Alicia Froling, but if I can get Izzy Bourne right there on the basket, good things tend to happen.
We spoke to Izzy Bourne pre-game. You can see she's got the shiner on the nose and a little bit of a scar. Do you think that's a sign of how physical practice was yesterday?
Yeah, she tried to play it off and say it was an accidental, but I think it got lively and some furniture moving in training as it should be.
That was good defensive possession by Townsville. They forced the shot clock violation. So that's something that they need, and we know they're the best defensive team in the competition during the regular season.
It's been a real form of improvement over the course of the campaign. Shannon Seabohm's spoken about that, how their team defense has improved as this season's gone longer. Offensive rebounds off the Woods miss. Olsen thought about it.
Yes.
Wow.
Lasers it inside to Fowler.
Just that little delayed pass. Looked like she was going to shoot that, and then just a bullet pass.
9 seconds shot to game clock as this first quarter winds down. Bourne long with the 3, new 14 for Southside. Up by 4, shot clock didn't start when it should have. So we'll get a slight delay here to get the red numbers sorted out. Travis Stewart, Hugh Starkey, Kyle Easter, our refereeing crew this evening. There's Shannon Seabohm, who we hear might be a little bit under the weather. He was a relatively late arrival to today's game, according to our sources. Still there, marshalling his troops on the sideline as Rocci hooks that one home. A much better start from Matty Rocci as we'd expect. 6 points, 4 rebounds in the game. Olsen for 3 to beat the buzzer, can't get it to go. And it has been a different-looking Southside Melbourne Flyers, challenged to respond. So far, the hosts are delivering. They lead at 26-20 at the end of one, trying to keep their season alive. Quarter time at the State Basketball Centre. Southside looking for a response. They've delivered one in this opening term, 26-20. As the second quarter starts after losing game one by 28 points and scoring just 6 points in the first quarter on Sunday. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Laurie Chiswick with you. Jess Robinson is courtside as Hayley Peters tries to start us off with a three for the Southside Melbourne Flyers. Alex Fowler pulls down the rebound. Still Lucy Olsen out there to start this second term with Alice Fowler, Froling and Woods, George Rocci, Reed, Peters and Bourne out there as Lucy Olsen steps her way through. She's got a team-high 6 points along with Alicia Froling.
I know she's a three-point shooter, but she is very efficient at that mid-range jump shot.
It's going to stay with Southside.
She's working her pick and roll. Like this, you're just going to get pick and roll to no end. I wish I was keeping track how many times they run it, but Kayla George is often the one being put into the ball screen action.
Janet Seaborn said in that press conference after Sunday, there's no secret we run a lot of pick and roll basketball. And they've got the weapons to really make it work. Tara Reid coming off the bench tonight, Laurie. Hayley Andrews starting in place of her.
Really good move, and that's, you know, somebody like Tara Reid, because she was coming off the bench with Nia Locke, she knows what it's like. She knows she can have an impact when she comes on straight away. But talk about an impact. Hayley Peters adds to her point. She's got 6 points now, but 5 rebounds as well.
That's exactly her stats in game one. 6 points, 5 rebounds in the entire contest. 5 turnovers to go with it. Fowler can't hit from outside. 1 of 5 now, Townsville from beyond the arc. Southside the same, but the Flyers shooting 54% from the field, 63% from inside the arc. George from the baseline. That's no good. And Froling fumbles it away.
And I'm looking at some of the defense that the Flyers are playing. They show a 2-3. After one pass, it looks like they're going into, they're matching up out of it. But there's still some holes out there. And Alex Fowler had a really good look. So I'm not so sure how is it good defense or bad offense at this stage.
Reed stepping through, can't hit. Fowler with the rebound, hit ahead pass to Woods. Had Olsen open in the key for a moment. Pulled it back out. Abby Ellis putting it on the floor. Guarded by Izzy Bourne. Well, like the look of the matchup. Tried to swing it cross court, didn't have enough zip on it. Peters played the passing lane beautifully. And the Flyers are out in transition again.
Matty Rocci's 5th assist. This is the Matty Rocci game so far.
Yeah, that ball is zipping more than what we've come to expect from Southside so far this season. 10 assists on 14 makes. Now a foul. Fowler and Froling.
What I like,
contact.
Sorry, Joe. What I like about Southside right now is they are really challenging the defenders at every opportunity, whether that's pushing the ball up the floor like we see in this instance, Kayla George running it, or even in a quarter court. They're not being passive at all. Everybody looks like they're a threat out there.
Illasoa checking back in for Townsville. Nice feed from George to find Reed slashing to the hoop.
This is good offensive execution. There was a lot of standing around watching in game one. This is way better.
Margin to 10, up to double figures. Almost another turnover forced by Rocci and Andrews. Ellis hit one from there in game one. Defers here to Woods, back to Ellis, pulls the trigger. Can't hit the target. Rocci sees the double off the rebound, fights her way through it. Reed inside, no good that time. Game high 10-point lead to Southside. Back on their home floor, trying to keep their season alive. Townsville trying to win through to face the Perth Lynx in the grand final series. Game 3 on Sunday if required. Froling underneath is fouled. And we'll step to the free throw line. Of course, Alicia Froling, familiar with these surrounds, plays her NBL1 Southpaw with the Knox Raiders. And some of her finest work in this venue.
And Courtney Woods just exploring on the pick and roll. Just making sure, creating havoc. And they put in Kayla George. You see, Laurie, Kayla's going to be involved in every ball screen. They're going to make her make a decision. Is she going to switch? Is she going to play drops?
Both will fall for Froling. Damon Lowry and Laurie Chiswick running their eyes over things for you tonight, providing the analysis. Southside just the 2 free throw attempts thus far. The other end, Townsville 7 of 8 from the stripe as Rocci zips inside. This has been a real bounce back from Matty Rocci. 8 points, 5 assists. So a little crossover. Fowler, Woods, puts it on the floor. That's too easy.
Well, they'd be going, thank goodness we got something easy, because Townsville have just, or sorry, Southside have been putting immense pressure defensively on them.
It's been a spirited performance from Southside. As Christy Harrow has said all season, though, Laurie, the challenge now is to do it for 40 minutes. That's been a constant refrain from the Southside Melbourne coach.
Well, we talk about which team will show up, and certainly their A team is showing up. But as you say, can that A team play for that amount of time? But right now, Southside have just reversed the landscape with Townsville in that they are moving the ball so quickly, and we know that that's a trait of Townsville, ball and player movement, and it's being switched right now.
So an early timeout here in this second term. 6 minutes to play in the first half. It is Southside 34, Townsville 26 at the Paywise timeout. So a chance for both coaches to discuss things with their team. Shannon Seabourne, all of a sudden, he and the Townsville Fire find themselves on the back foot, down by 8, with 6 minutes remaining in this first half.
Well, right now, Southside have 8 offensive rebounds. That's way too many. That's giving them second chance opportunities. That's taking the heat off them. So I'm sure that's something they talked about at quarter time and perhaps in this timeout. But Townsville are experienced. They've been to a lot of finals. In fact, if you know, they've been to 4 finals appearances in the last 5 seasons. So they just need to weather this storm. We know they've got the experience. We know they've got the team that can handle this.
Matty Rocci has 8 points, 7 assists, 0 turnovers. And I see she just got subbed out just now. Keep track of this time right now with 6 minutes to go.
34-26, Southside over Townsville. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Laurie Chiswick, Jess Robinson with you. 6 minutes to play here in this second term. 8 offensive rebounds to 4. Townsville, as you mentioned during the break, Laurie, and 13 second chance points for the Flyers as Izzy Bourne restores their double-digit advantage.
So good when you come out of a timeout and you execute a baseline out of bounds play to perfection and score.
They've got a couple of those baseline out of bounds plays to work today. Have the Flyers. Milasoa from outside. That's no good. 1 of 8 from beyond the arc. Townsville, quite the contrast to how they started on Sunday. Andrews now surveying. Reed on the wing, steps it inside and cashes the mid-range shot.
Great job by Tara Reed. She didn't settle for the 3. Nice shot fake, 1 dribble pull-up. 12-point lead, Laurie. They need to take at least this into the halftime lead break, I reckon.
Well, and they're shooting, Southside are shooting the ball at 56%. You know, they're taking really good shots, making really good decisions.
A team that shot 39% from the field on Sunday, 4 of 20 from beyond the arc. Kayla George uncorks one and hits. George from downtown. And Townsville has got all kinds of worries at the Paywise timeout. Under 5 remaining here in this second term. It's a 13-point lead for Southside, a new game high.
We checked the Amy replay here, and you see Cater just slipped right out of that miscommunication on how they were going to defend it between Lucy and Alicia Froling. And there's a price to pay. Number 3 for 3. They got issues, Laurie.
They certainly do, and they've got more than one. It's not just stopping one player out there.
Southside are really playing like a team. And as you mentioned, Damon, they're executing. They're getting the ball in the right people's hands. It's popping through hands, and it ends up in the right spot.
They've shown throughout the course of this season, Southside, that they can take it right up to some of the best in the competition. They were the first team to beat Townsville so far this year as well. The fans loving it at the State Basketball Centre on this Wednesday night, which is terrific to see. 41-28, 4:50 remaining in the second term. Townsville started 9 of 14, 3 of 7 from outside in the first quarter on Sunday. Conversely, Southside started 2 of 18. What a contrast it's been so far in this one. Jess Robertson's courtside. Jess, you were listening into that Townsville huddle.
Yeah, guys, Courtney Woods is telling her teammates to take a breath while Shannon Seaborn, he's calling for everyone to settle and to reset their mental focus. He's not sure what's going on between their head, but they're all looking a little bit rattled for his liking. He wants someone to take the lead as they go into defense, because they're just letting the Flyers play the game on their terms, which isn't what the Fire want to be doing.
No, not by any stretch, Jess. Thank you. Foul called here on Alicia Froling, getting tangled up with Izzy Bourne.
Easy foul call for the referees on that one.
Yeah. You're certainly not going to see Alicia Froling take a backward step.
First foul for Alicia Froling so far tonight. Kayla George has got a couple of personals still out there for Southside. Andrews, beautiful feed, and Bourne cutting baseline. He's going to make that all day. Fire wasting no time getting up the other end of the floor. Fowler left the layup a bit strong, and then a cheap one on the rebounds.
The Fire are clearly rattled.
They are.
Clearly rattled. Missing some shots that they would normally make. A little bit of indecision on how to attack this matchup zone, man-to-man, all that kind of stuff is playing into it. Missing shots. And on the other end, the Flyers are executing.
Speaking of fire, this woman at the free throw line's got a real fire in her eyes tonight, Kayla George. She is absolutely ready to go and ready to compete. WNBL and Virgin Australia giving you the chance to win tickets to the WNBL26 Championship game on March 1st. Flights, accommodation, the ultimate finals experience, and a family season pass for next season and an official game ball. You can scan that QR code on screen now to enter. What a prize it is. I'll all be chasing the ultimate prize. Our 3 remaining teams. You can be there to witness all of it by entering that competition. All will stay with Southside here on this possession. (44-31). Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary. Jess Robinson courtside on this Wednesday night. Game 2 of the semi-finals. Andrews on the lob to George. Another beautiful offensive possession from the Flyers.
Their passing is just so picture perfect right now. The timing of it, the weight of it. A little bit of a breakdown there.
16 assists on 21 makes, Laurie Chiswick.
Yeah, I mean.
Kayla's got them in 2 minds. Is she going to pick and pop? Is she going to roll? They got major issues. This is a quintessential Kayla George game.
And this is the team that across the course of the regular season led the competition in the amount of their buckets that were assisted. And that's sort of 70% of their buckets came via assists throughout the course of the season. So that when that ball is moving and they're not getting stuck in the mud offensively, that is such a big part to making this offense tick.
And the other thing, when you move the ball quickly, it doesn't give the defense chance to get set. Every time you hold on to the ball, the defense can reset and get organized.
And when you're getting stops, you don't have to bring the ball up against the other team's set defense. So they are ticking all the boxes tonight, Southside. George splits them at the line again. Courtney Woods scythes through the defense. Last touch by a Southside hand. 14 points is the margin with 3 to play in the second.
And Townsville obviously cannot afford to foul for the next 3 minutes. I will be going inside. Keep that pick and roll, pick and pop going with Kayla and Matty.
Same stage of game 1. It was Townsville by 23. Woods, Froling, runs herself off the line and scores with the right hand.
Kayla literally was playing
Yeah.
no one on that possession.
I'm just going to protect the rim, says Kayla.
Oh, no.
George for three. That one's offline. Rebound to Woods out there with Horvath, Soa, Froling and Ellis for the Fire. Southside hold on to this double-digit advantage to halftime, or will Townsville be able to eat back into it and regather some confidence? Ellis, Woods, surveying the paint, corner catch. Horvath's offline, rebound Froling. Townsville get a new 14. Soa on the drive, no good, she was fouled.
Well, how many games have we seen with 2 minutes to go in the half and Mia Soa has not scored a point yet? Oh, sorry, she scored 1 point, she said.
The free throw.
Yeah.
It's the second free throw. She had a great season, Mila Soa, first back with Townsville, of course, a championship winner with them previously. Hasn't scored fewer than 6 points in any game so far this season, just twice as she's been held to single figures. This is the second free throw there, which has been a rarity and maybe just shows the nerves that have settled into this Townsville camp. How rattled they are. Peters for three. That's offline. Rebound to Froling with some real ferocity. It's a 4-on-3 break here for Townsville. Soa got tangled up with Rocci.
You Townsville, you got to just chip away. You got to expect this. This punch was always coming. And I feel like, Lord, we got so much faith in Townsville, what they've done all season. You always feel like, well, when is it going to come? Is it going to come yet? Like that burst, that outburst, 8 to 10 point run. And they want to get into this half down, obviously, single digits, low single digits.
Soa makes her move. All the way in. Blocking foul called on Andrews. Mila Soa. Take another look at it here.
Oh, at the last minute, like Haley got her left arm in because I thought this could have been a charge.
She's done her job coming into this starting lineup, though, Haley Andrews. She's been terrorising Courtney Woods and Mila Soa. And the move to bring Reid off the bench seems like it's paid dividends too. So it's been a move that has worked double time for Christy Harrower.
And, you know, you never know till you try something like that. You know, speaking to Christy, she was debating it, should I, shouldn't I, and the merits of it, and it certainly has paid off.
Back to single figures here, minute 15 remaining in this second term. Southside have controlled proceedings after being thoroughly dominated on Sunday, have led by as many as 15. They've led for 17 of the 19 minutes so far. 3 on the shot clock, 2. Reid will pull. Heaves it up at the buzzer. Townsville back the other way. They can make it a 2-possession game on this trip. Courtney Woods has got that in mind and executes it. Timeout Southside. 6-point game. You knew the run was always going to come, and it has come in an 8-0 fashion just like that for Townsville.
You could just feel it, couldn't you, Lori? Just, especially with Courtney Woods. Like, she didn't shoot that well in game 1, and she is not going to die wondering.
47-41 at the Paywise timeout. 46 and a bit seconds remaining in this first half.
Well, right now you'd have to say that the momentum is certainly with Townsville. They have closed this gap to 6 points. And Southside, yes, they've had a great half and you know, led by I don't know however many, but Joel, you'll know that. But it's all about what goes in at halftime. How are you feeling going into that halftime break?
It was 46-31, Laura Chiswick. It is now 47-41. So it has been a 10-1 run for the Townsville Fire.
I just felt like it was always coming. It's just who they are. It's who they've been the whole season. And The Flyers just got to make sure they get out of this half, keep taking care of the ball, see if they can get themselves to the foul line. They still got the size advantage.
Yeah.
That last possession, they tried to run the same play for Kayla, that back pick play, but Townsville did a good job of seeing it coming and double teaming it.
George has got
it's the chess match, Joe.
Sorry, Damon. George has got a game high 18. Froling 10, Woods 10. Southside calling that timeout. What did Christie have to say, Jess?
Well, Christie had one message. We don't have anything to lose. Give it all. Knowing that the Fire are going to come out strong in the second half, so they want to hold their lead as strong as possible as they go into halftime, guys.
Well, they'll get a couple of looks here, Jess. Izzy Bourne heading to the free throw line. 5 seconds between the shot and the game clock, so they're every chance to have the final say of this half. Not sure what that fly's doing on the camera, just quietly.
The Flyers brought their own flies.
There it goes. I'm not sure that's why they got the name, to be fair.
Chrissy has unleashed the flies. Great inside play, though, going inside Izzy Bourne with Fire in foul trouble.
49-41, 20 seconds to play. What can Townsville manufacture on this offensive possession, having cut back into this lead? There's a foul off the ball. Milisoa trying to work her way through the screen. Both teams in the penalty.
Yeah, we didn't quite see that on the camera, but you can see that Mila is just, she moves well without the ball, and Terrari just got caught being a little bit too aggressive. And these are freebies.
They are 95%, as we mentioned earlier. Milisoa.
Both fall back to 6. Now Southside will get the last look at it. They can hang on to the ball here. Rocci to Bourne. Peters. George in the corner, puts it on the floor. They cause the turnover. A great defensive stop to end the half for Townsville. A signal of their intent here in this second half. Southside 49, Townsville 43. Southside led by as many as 15 in that opening half. And Townsville, as we knew they would, Laurie Chiswick, just kept chipping away.
Well, they're just too good of a team. They're never going to lay down and lie. There's too much on the line for this, and they are talent personified. But how good, or how well, did Southside come out to start the game?
Indeed, a 6-point lead at quarter time, a 6-point margin at half time. Let's get some reaction with Jess Robinson.
Kayla, Christie, all she asked for pre-game was to see effort from you guys, and that's what you have delivered in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy with where we're at. I think we can still sharpen some things up. They probably had some pretty easy buckets under baskets, just some lack of rotations. But yeah, look, I think we've started off how we wanted to in a certain degree, and we've really been looking forward to playing back at SBC. We haven't really played them here since we beat them back in October. We love this venue. That's why it's home advantage.
The message at that last timeout was, we have nothing to lose. How do you settle the troops for this big do or die second half?
Yeah, I mean, we just keep it simple. It's a game of basketball. We're in a good spot right now, but they're a very, very talented team, and we need to make sure we execute. The physicality is probably going to be bumped up again. So I'm just trying not to swear like last time. But no, it's going to be a great 20 minutes. Good luck. Thank you.
Keeping emotions in check, Kayla George. Plenty of work to do in this second half for Shannon Seabohm and the Townsville Fire. The Flyers have come to play. Their fans are loving it here at the State Basketball Centre. We'll break it all down at half-time on the other side of this. Southside by 6.
That's just our style.
The Flyers have come out fighting in this first half. They lead by 6 at the State Basketball Centre in Game 2 of this semi-final series. Kayla George has had that look in her eye all evening, and Christy Harrow has devised a game plan that has come up with the goods so far for Southside. Can they maintain it for this second half? Laurie Chiswick, Damon Lowry with their analysis at halftime. 49-43 our score. It's been a big response from Southside, Laurie.
You know what? I'm really glad to see that response, because we've seen it throughout the season at various times where, you know, they've had a poor game and then come out and played really hard. So it is good to see. It's do or die for them. And I just like their intensity, their intent, and they didn't let up the whole half.
Not at all. I mean, Matty Rocci, she's almost like she's Matty Rocci. And Apollo Creed said to her, "There is no tomorrow, Rock." Rocci is absolutely balling. 8.7 assists and 0 turnovers, controlling the tempo, playing the defensive end. This is the Matty Rocci we spoke about in the pregame.
I don't know anyone else that could work a Rocky reference so seamlessly into our halftime analysis. Let's take a look at our halftime highlights. When they came out swinging, Dave, and they have been throwing punches all game long so far, the Flyers, and they've been landing a few blows.
Haley Andrews kicked it off, injected into the starting lineup for Tara Reid, and she immediately became a pest on the defensive end, moving the ball, hit her 3-ball, and they got Kayla George involved, Laurie. Last game, we saw it took her almost a full quarter to get shot. She's now 7-10.
Well, leading everybody with 18 points in this game and just looking laser focused. But for Townsville, Frawling, who we just saw on the screen there, to me, she's really holding the fort down for them. She's got 5 rebounds, she's scoring, but she's just being a presence in there.
Absolutely. It's been a great matchup between Kayla George and Alicia Frawling so far. 2 keys to each of their inside game. Kayla George with a game-high 18, and as we've noted a couple of times on commentary, every time we get a close-up of her, there is just a steely look of determination in the champion.
She's a legend, out-and-out icon in the league, as we all know. We know her work, but the way they're getting her involved, they're not just throwing the ball to Kayla going here and make something happen. They are setting picks for her, because they're trying to crowd her. Alicia Frawling and Alex Fowler are trying to really crowd her. So they just come and set a back pick. And then in the pick and roll, you don't know if Kayla's going to pop and shoot the 3 or roll. So she is just playing some real good ball, but her teammates are doing a great job of incorporating her skill set.
I agree. It's a two-way street. You know, we often know what Kayla can do, and she sort of sometimes can float around. But she is being assertive out there. She is wanting the ball. Everything she does has a real purpose to it. And wow, she looks so good.
Absolutely, that's our Blackmore's player profiles. Courtney Woods in this first half, there's her numbers, 10 points, 4 of 10. Couple of makes from outside. They've been few and far between for both of these teams tonight. Is she the one to potentially lead them back into this game, Laurie, with her offensive creativity?
Well, I think so. It's not only to score for herself, but also to be able to facilitate her teammates. She's such a good decision maker, and she's so crafty on the on-ball screen. Keep putting her in it, and she will keep making good decisions.
She connects this Townsville team so well. She's going to be a big part of this second half. It is Southside by 6. It's a massive second half. They're trying to keep their season alive. Townsville to get through to the grand final in 2. It is all on the other side of this. Wednesday night hoops at the State Basketball Centre, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Southside's co-tenants here are in town and they're seeing the hosts lead by 6 at halftime, 49-43. Jess Robinson's courtside. Jess, they're not the only ones in the house.
From Phoenix Stars to a fellow WNBL coach, Perth Lynx, Ryan Petrick, has been spotted in this Flyers by a crowd. He's scouting out the competition, of course. They got the win in Bendigo last night. And the story goes that he actually got the train down to Wanturna today. So what a trooper. He is seeing quite a strong display. Could go either way this afternoon. But yeah, Ryan's in the house, guys.
Well played, Jess. Ryan Petrick, a V-line warrior with the best of them on the old Bendigo line. He looked like he played golf somewhere close by as well. I don't know whether he had the sticks. I'm not sure Mick Randall was helping him stay inconspicuous, the bearded news hound. But Ryan Petrick just watching over proceedings, casting a watchful eye, because of course his Perth Lynx lay in wait to play one of these two teams. Townsville 1 up in the series, Southside 6 up in the game. Second half underway, 20 minutes of basketball to decide whether Southside will stay alive or Townsville will progress to the grand final in 2 games. As Courtney Woods gets us going, trying to flip it up at the hoop after getting tangled up with Andrews, can't make the shot. Starters back out there for both of these teams. Andrews in the starting lineup in place of Nia Locke tonight. Tara Reid coming off the bench as Matty Rocci gets the biggest open look she's had all season.
Well, Townsville were really focused on Kayla George inside, and we're doubling her even though she hadn't got the ball, and so.
Now Rocci hits the hardwood. We knew they were going to come out physical. Kayla George said that at halftime.
Yeah, good wide open kick out. There's no one within. Coo-wee of Matty Rocci. She's knocked down that easy 3 ball.
Should have sat down and tied her shoelaces up, Damon.
What a game she's having.
Absolutely magnificent. 11, 7 assists. Active on the rebounds as well. Matty Rocci. She's been terrific. A big bounce back game from her. And there she is, taking it inside once more. Gets her tally up to 13. 11-point lead to Southside. Back-to-back buckets out of half-time.
Came off a nice flare screen, too. Just curled all the way to the basket. Izzy Bourne set the pick, and because Izzy Bourne's player was just hugging her, Matty Rocci had a clear drive to the basket.
Christy Harrow would have hoped they could have maintained their intensity from the first half to start this second half, and they've certainly done that. Woods leading the charge. Froling wide open. Got it.
Well, that's exactly what happened last game, Froling in the corner. And we talked about her influence at the defensive end and what she brings inside presence. But there you go, nailing a 3.
Do we, as a collective, the WNBL fan base, underrate Alicia Froling and her contribution, Laurie?
Well, I don't think so at all. I think we talk about her all the time, but we don't talk about her as an outside perimeter or outside shooter. And so, you know, if she can nail a couple of those.
Could go a long way for this Townsville team, that is for sure. George, Andrews, Peters, down low, guarded by Woods. And that is, as you mentioned earlier, Damon, that's where they have that advantage, is that they've got, you know, a bigger wing in Hayley Peters, where Townsville are going with those 3 guards.
Thank you. That's what I've been saying. Find the mismatch. Somebody's got to guard one of those forwards. Either Izzy Bourne, Kayla, or Hayley Peters going to have a guard on them, a smaller guard every trip down the floor. But they're not just throwing it in just straight away, making everybody watching. They're getting ball movement first, player movement first, then they're going inside.
Peters has been effective tonight. 5, 5, and 3. She had 6, 5, and 5 turnovers on Sunday. Townsville down by 10. Abby Ellis has been quiet. Just the 3 points thus far. She hasn't been operating up to her lofty standards. Soa got fouled.
Izzy Bourne got into her space. She went under the screen initially and realized, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. And that is not 3 shots. And how far are we away from the finals, JP?
Well, not too far away from the grand final. Damon, of course, we know one of our teams. It all comes down to these last couple of games. 3 teams remaining, 1 trophy, 1 can come out on top. Don't miss a game of this final series. Game 3 in this series on Wednesday if required. Grand final will feature Perth and one of these 2 teams as Matty Rocci cans a triple. She is having a profound impact on this contest, up to 16. She started the second half beautifully.
Well, it's something we haven't seen for a long time from Townsville, and that's indecision on the defensive end. Questioning, should I stay, should I go?
3 played in this third.
Ball to Matty Rocci.
Rocci to George. They needed someone to lead the charge. Matty Rocci and Kayla George are doing just that. Southside up by double figures. Paywise timeout, 6:54 remaining in the third. It has been a terrific start to this second half for the Southside Melbourne Flyers. They are out by double figures again, Laurie Chiswick, and Townsville took all the momentum into half-time. The shoe is firmly on the other foot now.
You know, it's so interesting because I feel like in game 1 we were just talking so much about Townsville and their great ball, their player movement, their defense. And the roles are completely reversed this game. And the Flyers, we can't say enough about their intent, their intensity, their ball movement, their execution. Just a complete reversal, Damon.
It is. It has been all led by Matty Rocci, Kayla George. They're 2 veterans getting everything done, everything they want to get.
Southside holding court in game 2 of this semi-final series. Matty Rocci on the Amy replay, stepping it outside and then dropping it inside to Kayla George. She has been tremendous. 15 points, 8 assists for Matty Rocci. George has 20 and 6. And their formidable 1-2 punch of stars are absolutely holding the line for this Southside Melbourne team.
Well, it's interesting now to see Chantal Horvat, just a little rush of blood there on that screen. But I was going to say, it's now is when Townsville need to take a breath and respond.
Yep.
They need to get back to doing what we've talked about all season, their good points, their ball, their player movement, not be indecisive, their best defensive team in the competition.
Wrapping up the fouls.
Foul there on Mila Soa, 12-point lead to Southside. Jess, what did you hear at that Townsville huddle?
Well, very, very calm, Shannon Seaborn. There's not one to really show his emotions, but at what point in this game does he need to give them a little bit of a rev up? They are 12 points down, so it's really now or never for the Fire. Just one very strong come on to finish off that timeout from Coach Seaborn.
And there's 5 fouls.
Right in keeping with Shannon Seaborn's demeanour. Coaches his 200th WNBL game tonight. 5-time Coach of the Year. Started his WNBL coaching journey, of course, with the Sydney Flames for a couple of seasons. Won a Coach of the Year there and has done a terrific job marshalling this Townsville team for quite a while.
Back-to-back fouls by Mila Soa. Over-aggressive. And Matty Rocci, you cannot take that much space away. You have to give her some type of gap or she will drive right by you. Now that you're in the bonus, they get themselves to the stripe.
They do have a couple in some foul trouble now. The Townsville Fire. Fowler's got 3. Alice has 3. Haley Andrews has 3 at the other end.
And again, that's what scoreboard pressure does to you. All of a sudden, you're down by this margin, 14 points, and you feel, I've got to be aggressive. I've got to get up and in. It rushes you as well.
3 ball for Horvat's offline. Fowler with the offensive rebound. Soa for 3. Got it. Rattled that one home.
Can't relax for a second with Mila on the floor.
Just their 5th make from outside. The Fire. As Matty Rocci gets exactly what she wants again, and a friendly roll. 19 in the game for Rocci. Another hit from outside. Solo with back-to-back bombs. And Bourne back at the other end. Real shootout stuff now in this third term. Ellis gets ahead of steam up. Can't finish over George. Kayla leads a 5-on-4 break here for Southside.
Oh, point guard.
Thought about the three. Rocci into the lane. Peters got it.
Wow.
Hayley Peters from outside. Southside firing on all cylinders.
The poise in that fast break. Kayla getting that ball to Matty Rocci, and then Matty Rocci finding wide open Hayley Peters, and here comes the big point guard.
8th turnover of the game for the Fire. Southside have led by 15 on a number of occasions. George trying to push it out to a new high watermark. Fouled by Woods.
They understand, Laurie. That is great decision by Matty Rocci. Great decision. Matty Rocci, 19 points, 10 dimes, and 0. Not one turnover. Flawless point guard game.
A phenomenal performance. Playing in the image of her coach, who marshaled the floor so brilliantly over the course of her career. Matty Rocci's doing the same and absolutely has this team clicking over beautifully. Paywise timeout halfway through this third term. Southside 69 to Townsville 54. They have had control of this ball game for much of it. The second time they've been out by this margin. The first time, Laurie, Townsville were able to get it all the way back to 5 points. Southside will be hoping that they can really stretch their legs here and push this one wide.
Well, right now they feel really good about themselves, Southside, and so they should, and they will want to continue in that vein.
Absolutely. 69-54. We've talked about the stars in the house. One of them has sidled up alongside Jess Robinson. Steph Reid. Jess.
Well, what a treat we have. Steph Reid is here with us, back from China for a little break in Australia. What are you making of this, Steph?
Oh, I'm absolutely loving it. It's nice to be back at a WNBL game, watching all my friends play, and it's been a really tough game so far, so I'm enjoying it.
I mean, of course, you're a local girl to here, but Townsville champion of 2023. Who are you rooting for tonight?
I mean, I have a lot of friends on both teams, so I want all my friends to play well, but Townsville will always have a very special place in my heart, so I can't deny that I'm always rooting for them.
Can we see you back in the WNBL anytime soon?
Anything's possible.
Okay, we'll take that. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you.
Great to see Steph Reid here. Of course, she'll be plying her trade in the NBL1 South, the Sandringham Sabres, in the off-season. Great to have her back in that local competition.
Well, she'll be off to Turkey with the Opals in a few weeks' time as well.
Another offensive foul. Hayley Andrews earning the plaudits from her teammates.
This is just something. Look at her fight through the screen. Just fought through it. Refused to be screened, and then Mila pushed off.
Game high 16-point lead. Woods with the turnover. Townsville and now challenged with trying to fight their way back into the ball game. Lucy Olsen no good. Horvat the rebound. She can't get it to go, but Froling can. 17 for Alicia.
Laurie, obviously Fire not going to quit. These next 4 minutes will tell us, will they go, let's go home and get the third quarter? I mean, the third game 3 at home is, oh, wow.
Hayley Andrews for 3. What an impact she's had.
When have we seen the non-communication and mix-up from Townsville on defense? You just don't see it. Yet with the scoreboard pressure and the ball movement of Southside, they just look like a different team.
Sola cans another triple. That's 3 in the quarter for Miller. Rocci with 19. George 21 for Southside. Kayla tosses it inside, loses it. Turnover number 7 for the hosts. It was from that 15-point margin in the second quarter that Townsville went on an 11-1 run to to bring it back to 6 points and then eventually to 5. Woods from outside. That one's well wide.
I would have liked the ball in Soa's hand again after just hitting 3 threes in this quarter.
Courtney Woods, 5 of 12 from the field. Mila Soa has it going from outside, as Laurie mentioned. Rocci created some space. Peters, corner catch for Kayla George. No!
Dodged the bullet. Alicia open, helping out of that corner, left Kayla wide open.
Soa at the other end, front rim. George has got the elbows out, pushing it, pulling down the rebounds. She's up for the scrap tonight, is Kayla. Game 396. Rocci with another absolute dive.
Check out the connectiveness between Rocci and Kayla George. The passes, the timing, the weight of them. Unbelievable.
This has been glorious basketball from Southside, and Rocci's getting it done at both ends. Lobbed it inside. Soa got a hand on it.
This is the formula. This is the formula. They're attacking all the mismatches. They're defending. They're running in transition, and they are taking care of the basketball. Only had the 4 turnovers at halftime.
And we expected we would see much more of this in Game 1. I mean, Game 1 was an aberration in the way they played across the course of the season, because Townsville have not been that much better than Southside in their head-to-head matchups. It was an absolute blowout, a shellacking of epic proportions, and Southside have responded in an immense way. Andrews for another 3. Wasn't far off. Bodia with the rebounds.
It plays like that, Laurie, tell us pretty much all we need to know. It's been happening all game. Indy comes off the bench and catch.
Oh, my goodness.
Game high, 19-point lead for Southside. And it feels like they won't be looking back from here. Fowler with the and one. Goes and says hello to a couple of the Southeast Melbourne players sitting courtside. Might have introduced herself to Ian Clark there, I think.
Indy comes off the bench, gets the O board, then hits the triple. As we check out the Phoenix boys enjoying the show.
Ian Clark, DJ Mitchell, Wes Iwundu, John Brown. All sitting there. John Brown, of course, a Defensive Player of the Year finalist in the NBL. Southside emulating the spectacular basketball their cohabitants have played throughout the course of the season in this one. Up by 16. Peters down low. Foul on Alicia Froling.
So smart. High-low, Kayla's sealing. Was it a foul? Whatever. She's putting pressure on the referees to make calls like that. Yes, it was physical, but you can see, Laurie, the purpose of what they're running the offense through. They are going to their strengths. And these strengths will be there in Game 3, because I'm tipping there's going to be a Game 3.
It's trending in that direction. 17-point lead. Remember, it was a 28-point margin. Townsville led 39-6 in Game 1. Southside could not buy a bucket. What a reversal in fortunes it's been. Soa gets another open look, makes the most of it.
She is just buckets, isn't she, Damon? She just can score at will.
She's snipering.
4 threes in this third quarter alone. 18 points for Mila Soa. Peters is offline. Half a minute remaining in this third term. Southside by 15 points. We try and get Soa a look here. She hit 4 threes in the quarter. They get something better inside, and Fowler blows the layup. Shot clock deactivated for this final possession for Southside. 31 points in the quarter. George pulls down the rebound. Jump ball. 5 seconds remaining. It'll stay with Southside, their highest scoring third quarter of the season. And at 31, it's the second most points Townsville has given up in any quarter across this campaign.
Now the tone was set early by the Flyers getting on offensive rebounds.
5 seconds remaining. Southside ball.
Oh, wow.
Andrews to George. A late bucket for Kayla George. And the Flyers are up by 17 with a quarter to play. In 3 quarters of basketball, they've turned around a 28-point loss into a 17-point lead. And they look a good thing to force a Game 3 in this semi-final series. What a performance it has been from the Southside Flyers through 3 quarters. They lose Game 1 of this semi-final series by 28. With a quarter to play, their fans are jumping. They're up by 17. And that man has got all kinds of quandaries spinning around in his mind. It is Southside 82, Townsville 65. Joel Peterson, Laurie Chiswick, Damon Lowry and Jess Robinson with you. And this has been quite the turn up for the books, you two.
Well, I can tell you somebody else who would be really enjoying this is Coach Ryan Petrick from Perth. He'd be watching this hit out, hoping for his sake, Mia Sowa keeps shooting the ball. That's her 4th 3. But he would be hoping this goes to Game 3. Less rest time between them, they attack them.
Milasoa, 5 of 9 from outside. He's only attempted 1 shot from inside the arc. 21 points, a team high. Froling has 17, Woods has 12 for the Fire. Rocci puts the afterburners on. She has been absolutely superb. Double-double of 21 and 11. George has 27 and 10. And they have saved their best for when they needed it most.
Matty Rocci getting inside the key, just creating all type of havoc, either for her scoring for herself or getting her teammates involved. This is the perfect game she's having the point guard position.
Would have been within her rights to pull up from outside then as well.
Patience. Kayla got the mismatch.
Slings it out wide. Bowyer, Peters. That one doesn't fall. George, Bowyer, Rocci, Reed, Peters out there for Southside. Soa, Woods, Fowler, Froling, and Olsen for Townsville. Fowler can't push it home. It's been a rough night for Alex Fowler. from inside the arc. 3 of 6 from in there. She's missed a couple of absolute bunnies in this second half. 8.5 to play. Reed from the corner. Yes!
All right, see you in Townsville.
Tara Reed makes it a 19-point lead, an equal game high. As Woods won't give up on the fight.
Check out this. Like, we didn't see it. It was a little bit before that, but Matty Rocci went to split that double team. She just got through it just enough to get that extra pass to Kayla. Then Kayla kicked it to the wide open Tara Reed. Is that Billy Slater?
It is indeed Billy Slater. Been doing a bit of work with the Southside Melbourne Flyers throughout the course of the year. NRL great. Melbourne Storm and Queensland champion. Kayla George checks out of the game. Sitting behind that Southside bench. And
is that the first time Kayla's been out of the game so far, I think?
I think it has, and hopefully she's not over there for too long.
Right you are, Laurie Chiswick. Expert eyes, as always. 31.5 minutes played for Kayla George. What a performance. Some of her absolute best. Peters pulls up and drains another one. The lead back out to 19. And they're going to run up 3 figures here, Southside.
Well, they are shooting their field goal percentage 60% right now.
8 of 17 from outside as well. They have not been a great three-point shooting team across the course of the campaign. At least in volume. As Froling can't hit. Bourne chases down the rebounds. Keeps it alive for Southside. Bourne with 12 and 4. George with 27 and 11. Rocci with 21 and 11 assists.
And 0 turnovers.
Zero.
Damon.
Don't forget the turnover.
0. It's amazing.
Someone who averaged more than 4 a game throughout the course of the season, averaged 4.6 turnovers in a game against, games against Townsville. She is the barometer for this team. Offensive foul there. When they lose, Matty Rocci has 4.5 turnovers and shoots 27% from outside. When they win, she shoots 44% from outside and has 3.6 turnovers a game. She has been at her miserly best tonight in terms of ball security. She has led the charge here in this second half. What a charge it has been.
Laura, if you're Shannon Seabaum, at what stage you go, okay, see you back in Queensland, and just kind of call off the dogs a little bit. I'm thinking the 5-minute markers.
Yeah.
19 points. If it gets to the 5-minute mark and it's still the leaders like this, okay. This is why we got the home court advantage.
There's the coach, 200th game tonight. Soa from outside again. She can't miss from there. Mila Soa is having an electric second half. Just needs a couple of mates to go with her.
Wow. Mila's got great footwork, and she's not trying to go back to Townsville for game 3. She wants
6 of 10 from outside for Mila Soa.
But Laura, it's the 90 points they're giving up. They're on pace to give up about 110.
Well, and as we've talked about, they are the regular season, the best defensive team, giving away only 72 points. They've already given away 90.
New career high in terms of 3 points made for Mila Soa, as well as 6. She had 5 on 4 occasions previously to tonight. Rocci down low for Bourne. Last touch by the Southside star. And you see the damage inflicted at training yesterday. Whatever Christy Harrower did, whatever she said, whatever she instructed them to do, it's clearly worked.
That was good help from Abby Ellis from the corner. Come down there and cause that turnover. Illegal screen.
Yeah.
Matty Rocci goes reeling off, looking a little bit sore. Hopefully nothing to worry about there. He motions to the bench that she's okay. Just got the legs caught up there. A little bit ginger on that left ankle.
Well, I remember Kayla George saying in an interview at the start of these series is that a focused Flyers team is very dangerous, and they are showing that today because they came out laser focused right from the tip-off.
And it makes game one all the more inexplicable, that they can turn it around so quickly and so decisively. What on earth happened in those first 4 minutes up in Townsville on Sunday?
Yeah, we'll never know. They need to do some type of, I don't know what you call it, a royal commission. But when you're embarrassed, when you coming home for the closeout game, like, we're not going home. Like, if you beat us, it ain't going to be in here.
So interestingly, you know, it's looking very much like we will be going back to Townsville on Sunday, and the pressure actually goes right back onto Townsville. They finished top of the ladder. Their expectation was to win. They had a big, big first game. And again, Southside, you know, people think they were making up numbers. That's not what they think, and they're going to want to go up and prove everybody differently.
Christy Harrow would be delighted with what her team's produced this evening.
Back kick. Screen the screener into a ball screen.
Coach Lowry stepping you through the offense. Woods and Peters. Some contact between those two.
But that's good execution, Laura. You see, they're not trying to shoot quick. They're running their stuff. They make it. The only way Townsville get back into this game is if Southside take quick shots and turn the ball over. If you come down and run good offense, you're likely going to draw some fouls. You're going to make them play D, and time will tick off that clock.
Well, they've only had 9 turnovers throughout the whole game, so they've done a great job of possession.
8 on the shot clock here for Southside. Peters puts it on the floor, guarded by Fowler. Free throw line jumper. It was an absolute heave in the end. Abby Ellis not out there at the moment for Townsville. 22 minutes for her. 3 points after 20 on Sunday. Fowler's got 7 points in the game, 5 rebounds.
And that's what the Flyers don't need right there, Lori. 5 team fouls.
5.5 to go.
5.5 to go. This clock stops when we watch the Fire go to the line for 2. Foul discipline is huge. Can Alex make them pay?
Very proficient free throw shooter, Alex Fowler. 89% on the season at 16-6 in game 1, of course. Be heading to Turkey with the Opals as well. Rattles that one home. Asia Cup MVP in the off-season. So much momentum into this campaign. She's put together a terrific season. Hasn't been able to provide her best tonight. George continues to bang bodies. Rocci had it poked away. Fowler got a piece of the hand.
I thought, oh no, is that Matty's first turnover? Gets herself to the stripe. And that's the thing, Townsville got to try to pressure up. They're trying to, you know, lift the intensity, but oh no, they still had a foul to give.
Hasn't Haley Anders been great as a new starter coming into this group tonight? She's just, I think she's played her part really well. She's got 8 points, 6 assists out there. Hasn't tried to do too much, but has been really effective defensively as well.
Plus 18 in 25 minutes on the floor, Laurie. That has been a masterstroke. As you mentioned, the Townsville junior, Haley Andrews. As Haley Peters pulls up in rhythm and extends that lead furthermore.
Haley Peters, how many players we got out there right now, Joe, from the University of Duke? Both shooters.
Here they are. Soa chases Peters. And Froling pulls it down. And it will be a timeout. Halfway through this final term, the Paywise timeout. Southside 94, Townsville 79. The Flyers battling to keep their season alive. It looks like they will do it and get through to a Game 3 on Sunday. And what about those 2 women at the top of the tree for Southside? Kayla George and Matty Rocci. Double-doubles for the pair of them. Haley Peters has been big. Townsville just have not been able to muster their best tonight. There's Billy Slater talking things over with Jerry Ryan, so long a part of this Southside organisation. And before that, Dandenong, of course, had a big impact on the WNBL across the course of his involvement as Jerry Ryan from the wonderful town of Bendigo as well, Damon Lowry. So
right.
Indeed he is. The caravan magnate.
He is.
Southside by 15. Those two men would be very, very happy with what they are seeing tonight at the State Basketball Centre.
Well, we talked about at the very beginning, and Christy Harrower mentioned it in her interview. She needed to rely on some experience. And the experience, as you said, the top scorers, Rocci and George. And Peters, I think, as well, you have to add in there. They have just not put a foot wrong this game.
Hayley Peters has played right at the top of international basketball. She brings all kinds of experience to this team. 15-point Southside lead. What were they chatting about in that huddle, Jess Robinson?
Well, Christy noted that the Fire are playing everything through Mila. So shut down Mila is the message. Adding ball pressure when they're trying to transition up and down the court. Scoring from in the paint rather than the arc. That is the game plan from the Flyers. That's what Christy wants to see as they aim to close this out and hopefully send this to game 3. Wouldn't that be great?
Townsville got issues because the Flyers are playing to their strengths. Their strengths, there's nothing that Townsville can do to nullify that size difference that they have at those positions at the forwards. Peters, Bourne, George. What is going to happen on game 3? They need to come up with some type of plan, Laurie, as well as that zone matchup that they started off the game with. They kind of set the tone and got Townsville in all kind of confusion.
Christy Harrower said that Townsville rattled Southside in game 1. Southside rattled Townsville in return in this one.
Well, and Damon, often when you're getting beaten so emphatically inside, you go to a zone yourself, but Townsville, that's just not their jam. They don't play zone. They don't necessarily practice a lot. And maybe they'll be looking at some zone because right now the way the Flyers are executing and getting the person in the right spot at the right time has been wonderful to watch.
Matty Rocci up to 23 points. She and George have combined for 50 of their 97. Ellis has been quiet.
What?
Mueller from deep. Why not when you're shooting it in the second half like she is and everyone else is shooting it like they are?
I've seen Matty Rocci put up some big scoring games, have some big assist games, but I'm going to say this is her best game.
This is the best game I've seen her play.
Coming off statistically her worst of the season as Kayla George has got a 30-piece in a potential closeout game. 30 and 11 as she equals Kelly Wilson's record for the most finals in WNBL history. She'll get a chance to go past it on Sunday. And richly deserved it will be. Soaks up every accolade she can get her hands on down the stretch of this season. Ellis with the line drive. Got it.
Yeah, that was the one quick shot they took. Kayla took that 3. Christy says, hang on a minute. Let's just get a timeout and have a quick little chat. You see the Amy replay right here. Caught Alicia Frawley just helping off her. She was in the abyss, and Kayla made her pay.
First Southside 30-point game as we see on the Amy replay. Last 30-point game Kayla George had. She had 33 in round 9 of last year for the Sydney Flames. What a distinguished career. 396 games and her 5th 30-piece that she's been able to put together.
Well, we can add, she came into this game with 13 double-doubles. We could make that 14 now for this season.
All WNBL second team. Miss Kayla George just continues to excel. Championship winner at a number of stops. Of course, long-time member of the Townsville Fire. 3-time Olympian, 3-time Women's World Cup medalist. And what about that man, Ryan
want to play?
Yes.
Who does he want to play?
Either thinking about his tea time tomorrow or what's going to happen on Sunday. After game 1, he would have been thinking it's going to be Townsville. And now, who knows?
We all thought that.
3 minutes to play in this one. Who knows? 100-84. And again, this time it's Bourne to George. 32 for Kayla. Jess, you were listening into that fire huddle.
Put a little bit more pressure on Kayla George, but as you can just see, she is pretty unstoppable right about now. The Fire, their bench, we can see Courtney Woods, she's up and about, but they look like they know they're going to game 3.
Yeah, I'm subbing Matty Rocci out after these 2 free throws. I don't want her to get a sloppy turnover, an accidental turnover late, because this game has been absolutely flawless. Without flaw, JP.
Kayla George comes out. The bench unit out there for Townsville. George checks out with 32 and 11 in game 396. A magnificent performance from one of the all-time greats in this competition. Izzy Bourne comes out with 13, 5 and 4. Rocci can't add to her 23 with the first. She gets her 24th with the second and a sub on the shooter. What a performance from that woman. What a bounce back. What a resurrection from Rocci.
That's heart, man. That is resilience. That is professionalism. That's everything. Set the tone. And now they have to go on the road. And can they bring the same exact energy and precision?
Offensive foul on Horvat. And guess who's on the receiving end of it again? Hayley Andrews. She has put together a stirring performance this evening.
Threw it away and then took the charge. She's just been everywhere.
Love what she's provided. Injected into the starting lineup, getting her opportunity and making the most of it.
Hayley Peters, you can come sit down too after you make these 2 free throws.
So Nikita Young out there, Indy Boya, Hayley Andrews, Manny Potch, Hayley Peters. Peters playing 35 minutes tonight. She's been very important. Forster, Crichton, Edwards, Olsen, Ellis.
Well, again, we talked in game 1, the luxury of Townsville being able to put all their youngsters in and bench players, and equally now Southside are in the exact same position. So who knows what game 3 is going to bring us.
Back in action on Sunday in Townsville.
The ball.
Perth will be watching on. Very, very interested indeed.
Sorry, JP. The ball movement from the Flyers was so good and the spacing was so good that they couldn't even get a chance to double the post.
No.
They were setting back picks and the bigs was coming off diagonal screens that just made it difficult to double team once they got the ball. And if they're playing one-on-one, it's always going to be advantage Flyers in that situation.
Tell you what, this result tonight means there's a lot of work for the Perth assistant coaches, because they now have to have scouts for both teams. They're not going to wait to find out who wins. They have to be ready for either team.
Peters, Young keeps it alive. Potch with 3 on the clock. Andrews for 3. And great hustle from Boya. They just keep making winning plays. And they will get a new 14. So the challenge now with Townsville, for them to try and respond. The shoe on the other foot. How the tables have turned in a matter of 4 days.
This is why you play. This is why it's a 23-game season. This is why home court advantage is so important.
And we've got a 5-time Coach of the Year leading the way for Townsville to come up with some sort of strategy, some sort of way to answer back. And I have no doubt, good shot from Matty Potch. no doubt that Shannon Seaborn and his coaching staff will come up with something as well.
They were steeled for game 1. They'll need to be for game 3 as well. It's going to be that lingering question whether Southside have played their grand final or they can muster this kind of effort again. Edwards on the roll, takes some contact.
But the Flyers didn't do anything that was magical. Okay, they started the game off defensively different, but their offense, we haven't seen that level of offensive execution going to mismatches before throughout the season. In dribs and drabs, they made a focal point non-stop to go, nobody on the Flyers can guard Kayla when she's around the basket. They just simply can't do it. She's too cagey, too skilled. And once Kayla saw some easy buckets going in, it set the tone. Now she's shooting her 3 balls. And Matty Rocci is always come back to the point guard. She set the table for everyone.
And Christy Harrower talked about doing the basics. So get through the plays that they know, the execution. Then worry about wrinkles after that. Don't start by doing a wrinkle that doesn't work. Get through, and they have executed, as you say, Damon, just perfectly this game.
Imogen Rock with the bucket late in the piece here. Edwards at the other end scores her first points of the season.
There's no tomorrow, Rock.
You've got all that you wanted tonight on that front, Damon.
I just need a Rock on the floor.
Izzy Whiteman yet to score in her young WNBL career out there at the moment. 19 seconds to go. What a turnaround this has been. What a performance of resolve and substance from Southside. They answered the call when they needed it. They deliver their second highest scoring performance of the season. And in their time of need, Southside keeps its season alive. 109-89 over Townsville. And we will go back to Queensland for game 3 in this semi-final series.
We certainly will. They got it done from start to finish, built multiple 15-point leads throughout the game, withstood a little bit of a run from the Fire, but they stuck to their guns, stuck to their structure and their system, and it worked a treat. Major contributions from the entire starting 5, with Tara Reid as well coming off the bench. But Haley Andrews was huge. Glory, they were all great.
Well, it was such a team effort, and that attests to it when they had 35 assists for the games. That means they were being unselfish. They were just looking for the best option out there.
And we should note as well, Shannon Seaborn unwell, so didn't go into the handshake line with the opposition players and coaches for that reason. Certainly not a lack of sportsmanship from the Townsville coach. 109-89 the final score. George with a magnificent performance. I mean, you'd call it winding the clock back, but the clock is very much still in the Kayla George window with the way she's played across the course of the season. 32-11. Rocci with 24-11. As good a game as she has played in her career. And it was their 2 leaders that really stood up tonight and took this team to game 3.
Yep, Kayla George is taking a P155. Good on her and her teammates.
Indeed. So a stellar performance from that Southside duo. Rocci and George, they are both with Jess Robinson.
Matty Rocci, player of the game. What a performance. That was insane.
Yeah, it was. I mean, to hear what people have to say, I think it just fires you up a little bit more, to be honest. And I think watching back game 1, I mean, I'm not someone to listen to the outside noise, but to hear what people have to say and to have a little bit of disrespect on the group that we do have and the performance that we know we can play at, I think it fires up the group so much. And I know standing here, coming onto this home court, we knew we had to give it everything we could tonight, and we did.
Tell me about that mental challenge, because 24-11, huge performance, probably one of your best of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I watched back game 1. I had a look at obviously how they were defending me individually, but also as a team. And I think that for me personally, when I'm aggressive and I can get my feet in the paint and I can find my teammates, I think that helps open the game up a lot. And I'm just someone that wants to do everything I possibly can for the group. And I think tonight that was just something that I wanted to do, was to come out, set the standard of the game, and to, yeah, get the win.
Congratulations on the win. Kayla, it's going to game 3.
Yeah, fantastic. I think I couldn't hear anything Roch said, but I mean, the disrespect's been pretty loud and clear. It's not very nice to hear, but again, the outside noise doesn't mean a whole lot within our bubble. So we just had to really lock in tonight, and I'm really proud of the girls for locking in. And look, they're not an easy team to beat, let alone beat at home in Townsville. And that's why they have home court advantage, right? So we'll go up there, and we're feeling really confident with that, and you know, it'll be a great series.
You talk about outside noise, but what a response. You guys do enjoy being the underdog.
Yeah, we like to have our backs against the wall, don't we? We tend to do all right when we're in that scenario, but yeah, look, the outside noise is always going to be there with whatever team you play for. But you know, it's been real loud and clear, and certain individuals, like time and time again, you know, preparing for a Townsville-Perth series. So that's all well and good. Hey, look, it might be that series, but that's the beauty of basketball. Like, there's one more game to decide it. So maybe until that game's played, maybe keep your mouth shut.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. Kayla says it's going to game 3, and they've got every chance.
Backs to the wall. They delivered when they needed to. 20-point win for Southside. We'll wrap it all up on the other side. A performance that was nothing short of awesome from the Southside Melbourne Flyers tonight. Bounced back in the best way possible. They beat Townsville by 20. We will go to a game 3 on Sunday. Laurie and Damon, that was quite something.
That was an emphatic win. That was a statement. That was right from the tip-off. And they will go into Townsville's game with a lot of confidence. Townsville's home court with a lot of confidence.
Not only is game 3 anything can happen, but now I'm really confused because if that Southside Flyers team shows up, they should have an advantage because what we just seen just then. So Townsville got their work cut out.
It's the theatre and drama of sport. Southside held up their end of the bargain. We're off to Game 3 in Townsville on Sunday.